Okay guys, we're going to take a look at lesson 14 where it's going to be two parts to it. We're going to multiply and divide decimals. So the first thing we want to point out that when we multiply decimals, our strategy is that we're going to count the decimal place values and then we're going to move that left once we do get our answer. So if we look at 3 and 4/10 multiplied by 1 and 12 hundredths. So this one here, we're not going to line up the decimals. So we do not line up the decimals like we do with adding and subtracting. So multiplying and dividing is going to be different here. So for multiplying, we're going to just line up the numbers. So we're going to take the largest number and put that on top. So we got 1 decimal 12, and then we got 4 decimal 3. Okay, so we're just going to line the numbers up here to the right, and then we're going to count the place values that we have. So right here in the top number we have 1, 2 place values, and then down below we have 1 more place value. Okay, so we're just going to put that off to the side for right now, and then we're going to multiply our 2-digit number with our 3-digit number. You got 4 times 2 is 8, and then 4 times 1 is 4, and then 4 times 1, which is going to be 4. Now we are done multiplying the 4. The way I teach this, I like to cross that out and then go down below and then cross out that place value that we just multiplied. Now, some math teachers, they'll put a 0 here. That works. I like to just cross it out so we know that we're done with that multiplying spot. So now we go to the next one here, and then 3 times 2, 3 times 1, and then 3 times 1 down below. So we're done multiplying here. So now we're going to add up our multiples. We multiplied 4 and we multiplied 3. So now we need to find the total from those two numbers. And we're just going to add up 8. 6 plus 4 is 10. Carry the 1. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 3. So now we're ready for our decimal. We counted them up. We had 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to move it over here. We're going to move the answer left. We're going to move the decimal left in our answer. We move it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 into our answer. So looking at our second example, so we're going to line up our numbers, put the longer number on top. So you have 0, 2. I have no idea why I just did that. 0, 2, 4, 7. And then you have 1 decimal 2. 1 decimal 2. So we're going to line these numbers up to the right. Then we're going to count our place values. 1, 2, 3. And then we have 1 down here. Now we are going to multiply. So we have 4 total place values. So we're going to put that on hold over here. I forgot to put that over here. 1, 2, 3. 3 decimal place values over on this side. So let's start multiplying. 2 times 7. 14. Carry the 1. 2 times 4 is 8. 9. And then 2 times 2, which is going to be 4. We're done multiplying the 2 place value, so we're going to go down below and cross that out. And then we're going to start multiplying below the 1. So 1 times 7, 1 times 4, and 1 times 2. So we're done multiplying our 2 digits up above. Now we're going to add up the products for each number down below. 4 plus nothing is still 4. 9 and 7 is 16. 4 and 4 is 8, 9, and then 2. So now we have our numbers down below. We have 4 placeholders, or 4 decimal places to move it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to move it to the left. 4 decimal place values. So it's decimal 2964. And then we can just put a 0 in here. So the multiplying decimal strategy is we're going to count the decimal place values that we have, and then we move it left in our answer. So if we look at dividing decimals, for dividing decimals, we're going to count the decimal place values, and we're actually going to move it right in our answer. So one thing we need to pay attention to is when we divide decimals, we don't really divide with a decimal. We're going to divide with a whole number, and we're going to move the decimals. So the first number, 30.63, is divided by 0.3. The common mistake students will do is they'll put this inside division. This number is not being divided. The first number is being divided by the second number. So this one's going to go around to the other side. So this expression, when we go to long division, the first number goes inside division, the second number goes outside. So let's set this up. We have 3063 is being divided by 0.3. And 2.4 is being divided by 300.0. Okay, so what we're going to do here is anytime we see a decimal on the outside, we are going to we're going to move that decimal, but when we move it, it's like we have to move these together. So if we just change one decimal value, we're going to change this by a power of 10. So by moving this decimal value, we're actually multiplying by 10 and multiplying by 10, just so we can get a whole number on the outside of division here. Okay, so our trick, what we're going to do for dividing decimals, is we can have a decimal inside, but we cannot have a decimal on the outside. So the way we do that, we're going to move this 1 and move this 1 place to the right. Here we're going to move it 1, 2, 3. So we're going to move this 1, 2, 3 places to the right. So once we move this over here, it's no longer over here, now it's here. We move this 1, 2, 3. Now our decimal is going to be over here. It's not going to be between 2 and 4. So once we move it over, now we're only dividing by 3. So what do we do here? Just fill some zeros in. It's kind of like we just moved these zeros inside here. And then same thing over here. We move it over 1 and move this over 1. So now we don't have a decimal on the outside, we have a whole number. Then we just bring our decimal up into our answer and then just divide like normal. 3 divides into 3 one time, 1 times 3. There's no 0 left over. Bring this down. Make sure that we put a number up above. 3 divides into 0 times. So 3 divides into 30, 1 0, 10 times. So now we have no remainder. Bring our 6 down. And then 3 divides into 6 2 times. 2 times 3 is 6. There is no remainder from here. And then 3 divides into 3 one time. So this is our answer. 30.63 divided by 0.3. this little number, 0.3, will divide in there 102.1 times. And we could finish this up down here. There is no remainder. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. 3 divides into 2 0 times. So let's just cross it out. There is no number, there is no multiple of 3 that divides into 2. So we're going to go to the next base here. 2, 4. 3 divides into 24. 8 times. Make sure the 8 goes over here above the 4. So 3 times 8 is 24. There is no remainder, but bring the 0 down. 3 divides into 0 0 times. Bring the 0 down. 3 divides into 0 0 times. So you want to make sure you finish this out all the way to the end because the decimal is over here on the right. So you're going to actually end up with 800. So this little number, it's a very small fraction of a number, 0.003. It will divide into this whole number 800 times.